Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about training, testing, practice, all the things that we need to do every day in order to optimize our performance and have the best performance on the field. How do we spend our time doing this though? Because there's lots and lots of different ways you can train. Well, in today's video, we're going to walk you through a framework to understand what we're talking about and about the different visual-based interventions and how we can use them to perform better and to win. We call this framework the Sports Vision Pyramid. Just like any pyramid, pyramids have a very strong base and they taper up to a point on top. And as you know, pyramids have been around for thousands and thousands of years. They're very stable and they really depend on that structure, that really stable pyramid structure. Well, the Sports Vision Pyramid is no different than that. The pyramid has 5 different levels, and if it's not designed properly, it's not going to be stable, which means that you can't really train on the top of the pyramid functions if you haven't optimized the bottom functions. That doesn't make any sense. That's like training to get better hand-eye coordination reaction time, but going out in the field with your eyes closed. Obviously, the better training, the better reaction time will have no effect because you don't know how to react or what to see. So what we want to do is look at each of these levels in sequence from the bottom up to the top. And as we improve each of those levels and make sure they're functioning optimally, we have the best chance to have the top of the pyramid on-field performance. Well, let's talk about the 5 different levels of the pyramid. Well, the bottom level is visual acuity. Visual acuity means sharpness of vision, contrast sensitivity, your ability to see things from the background. And that's something that each eye can do by itself, so you have to test each of those eyes separately. One level up from that is how both eyes work together. They work together to create depth perception and stereo vision. Stereo vision is critical to know how far things are away from you. Above that, we take our visual information and you have to make a decision. It's a visually based decision based on what you see to decide whether you're going to act or not. And then once you make that decision to act, we want to have a visually guided motor action to make your hands or your feet or your head or whichever part of your body is required for the sport move appropriately and optimally. If you can optimize each of those levels all the way up from the bottom up, you're going to have wonderful on-field or on-court performance. And that's why we do this training and the testing. Each of these different levels can be tested and they can be trained specifically. And let's look, for example, at the first level. The first level, as we said, is each eye by itself, the sharpness of vision, the contrast ability, and in fact your ability to see targets when they're shown for a very short time. Because on the field and in the sport, you don't have the luxury of time to sit around waiting to see something. You have to be able to see it quickly and make a decision. Well, the test that we use for this is called the Avts Test. In this test, which puts you at about 4 meters or 13 feet away from the computer display, we show you targets, and we'll show you some of those examples in a moment. We show you targets that are small, they're faint, and they're only seen for a short time. Well, that makes it really hard to see. In fact, if you can see it now on your screen, if you step back a ways, you'll see that it's much, much more difficult to see those things. Well, when we do that test, we get a score. And based on that score, we can make a decision whether or not there's an issue, whether or not you have the visual ability you need for your sport with each eye independently. Again, we want to make sure that the bottom level is optimal before we work our way up to the other, maybe fancier things that people do more training about. Well, we can fix this level. If you don't have the vision that you need for your sport, we can fix this by giving you contact lenses, by giving you glasses, all sorts of different things to make that vision the way it needs to be for your sport. If we can do that, you'll have the greatest chance for success on the field or on the court. In fact, we published a paper in the scientific literature not too long ago showing the relationship between your vision on this test and your ability to perform in baseball. We took real baseball players from the major leagues and the minor leagues, looked at their on-field batting performance statistics, and related that to their visual function. And in this paper, we showed that batters with good vision had a better chance to walk or get on base, and they were much more selective in which pitches they swung at or decided not to swing at, both in and outside the strike zone. This allowed them to have better ability to perform at the bat and were more valuable to their team. All this was most likely due to the fact that they were able to effectively make a decision whether to swing or not at the pitch based on that very beginning visual abilities. In fact, you can find a link to this paper down below if you want to read more about it. We have more information about this test on our website at sportsvision.nyc if you want to learn more. In fact, if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button below and please subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about and see more about how sports vision can help you perform at your best. Thanks for watching.